Once upon a time, in a small and peaceful village nestled among the mountains, there lived a humble farmer. He was known for his hard work, his connection to nature, and most notably, his calm and measured outlook on life. The farmer owned a beautiful horse, which he used to plow his fields and carry goods to the market. It was his most prized possession and a symbol of his livelihood. One day, however, the unexpected happened. The horse broke free from its stable and ran away into the wilderness. When the villagers heard of the farmer's misfortune, they rushed to his home to offer their condolences. "What terrible luck," they said. "Losing such a valuable horse will make life much harder for you. How will you manage?" The farmer, to their surprise, did not appear distressed. He simply shrugged and replied, "Maybe." The villagers were puzzled by his response. How could he be so indifferent to such a significant loss? But they said nothing and left him to his thoughts. Days turned into weeks, and just when the villagers had all but forgotten the incident, the farmer's horse returned. But it was not alone. It had brought with it a small herd of wild horses, strong and untamed. The farmer now had not one, but several horses to help him with his work. News of his sudden good fortune spread quickly, and the villagers once again gathered at his home. "What incredible luck!" they exclaimed. "You've gained so much from what seemed like a loss." The farmer, still calm and composed, replied as before, "Maybe." The following day, the farmer's son decided to tame one of the wild horses. As he mounted the spirited animal, it bucked and reared, throwing him violently to the ground. The young man landed awkwardly, breaking his leg. He cried out in pain, and the farmer carried him back to the house, where he began to care for his injured son. When the villagers heard of this, they came again, their faces filled with concern. "What bad luck," they said. "Your son's injury will be such a burden on your family, especially now that you have more horses to manage." Once again, the farmer responded with his usual calmness. "Maybe," he said. Weeks passed, and life in the village carried on. One day, soldiers arrived riding on horseback and dressed in imposing uniforms. They came to recruit all the able-bodied young men in the village to join the army. A war had broken out, and the village's sons were called to fight in the king's army. Mothers wept, fathers protested, but there was no escaping the soldiers' orders. When the soldiers came to the farmer's house, they saw his son lying in bed with his leg still in a cast. Seeing that the boy was unfit for service, they moved on to the next home. Once more, the villagers gathered at the farmer's home. This time, their faces showed a mix of sorrow and relief. "What a blessing," they said. "Your son has been spared from the war. You are so lucky." But the farmer, unshaken by the highs and lows of life, simply replied, "Maybe." The villagers never quite understood the farmer's attitude. To them, life's events were either good or bad, blessings or misfortunes. But the farmer saw things differently. He understood that life is unpredictable, and what seems like a curse today might turn into a blessing tomorrow, or vice versa. By neither celebrating too much in good times nor despairing in bad, he found peace in the ebb and flow of life. This story leaves us with a powerful lesson. Life is full of ups and downs, and we cannot always predict the outcome of the events we experience. Instead of rushing to judge every situation, we can choose to adopt the farmer's calm perspective. After all, sometimes what seems like a loss is just the beginning of something greater.